everyone. Today is a good day because I will be showing you my book collection. This is a book collection tour. So, I do not have a bookcase to house all of my books right now. Otherwise, the video will not be on my carpet. But nevertheless, I can still show you all the books that I have. And just a disclaimer, this will not be an aesthetic book tour. This will not be a book tour that you expect. I do not have high fantasy. I do not have a lot of fiction books. And some of the fiction books that I do have, you probably haven't heard of. So let's just get right into it. This is the first stack of books. This is how I would organize my books if I had like a bookcase. This would be like on my first or second shelf, and these are my medical books. These books I have in English, Spanish, and then Portuguese. But for the sake of the size and for the sake of the aesthetic of this stack, it's not really organized by language, it's all mixed in. Let's start with the first one. This one is, I hope the camera is capturing, this is sexually transmitted diseases pocketbook. So basically it has like images, and everything. It's pretty cool. You can put in your pocket and you're just reading about sexually transmitted diseases. Just don't read it in a bus though, because people that might be sitting next to you might get creeped out because of the images. The second book that I have here, this is Female Sexuality by Marie Bonaparte. This is basically like a small book that talks about a lot of psychoanalysis on female sexuality. But it's a good book so far, I'm reading it. The third book is A Higiene da Mulher by Ramiro da Fonseca. Women's hygiene for pregnant women, single women, and married women. Yeah. The fourth one here, I like the image on this one, the cover. This is Temas de Cuidados Intensivos. This is basically a really old book of like articles that were written by doctors and surgeons in Angola for intensive care in hospitals. This one is O Manual da Cirurgia. Oh my goodness, the whole stack just fell. Okay, this is O Manual da Enfermagem Cirúrgica, a manual for nursing surgery. Basically, this booklet not a booklet, it's a book. It talks about what does the nurse do during surgeries. It gives examples of different surgeries, like let's say maybe like cardiovascular surgeries and such, and what does the nurse do in every type of surgery. And then he also explains like the materials that you will find in a surgery room and their function and what their names and such. Oh, that's close. Okay. This one that is simple. This is Manual Teórico da Enfermagem, 3 volumes, by Rui Machado. This is an old Portuguese book that basically talks about all the important things that a nursing student is going to learn on their second year of nursing school, and it's actually really, really good. Really like this book. Then this one is a Spanish book. This is Anatomy and Physiology book. This is the first volume that it basically talks about the bones, the skeletal system, and it also talks about the muscular system. But it's actually really good. This one's another one also in Spanish. This is Tratado de Ginecología, Enfermedades del Aparato Genital Femenino. Basically, this book talks about all the diseases, infections, and whatever that has to do with the female reproductive system. So really nice. It's a textbook, but I consider it as a book. This one, okay. This one is a Microbiologia, Volume 2, microbiology book. Also pretty good standard. It's by Pelza, Ray, and Chan. Then this one here, this is Physiology of the Kidneys and Body Fluids. Well, this one is a book that I tried to read, but it kind of flies over my head because I can't really understand a lot of the terms, and it's just really hard, really dense to read. This one is one of my first ever anatomy related books that I got. I got this when I graduated high school, and I was thinking of entering pre-med. So my sister gave me this one. It just basically gives you an introduction to anatomy and the different systems. I still read it till this day. I think I've reread it like 3 times. Really good. This one is a book that I thrifted weeks ago. This is Manual da Gravidez Semana a Semana, a manual of pregnancy week by week. A really good book, and the images are extraordinary. This one is a book that I'll probably be getting rid of. I did not really enjoy. This is Respiratory Therapy, published in 1965 by Peter Safar. Yeah, it's it's like a book series. It has 5 books, and this is, I think, the first one, the introduction one. And there's not really much on this, much content, so yeah. This one is a behemoth of a book. Look, this is Medicina Interna. This is basically a really big textbook that talks about the different specialties that you're gonna do like after medical school. If you wanna become a cardiologist, if you wanna become like I think it talks about cardiologist and some other that I cannot recall, but it's really, really good. I actually used this to make a paper on hypertension and atherosclerosis. I think that's how you say it in Portuguese, and it was actually pretty good. They're just falling apart at this point. Forget the aesthetic. This one's another one in Spanish. Okay, so this one is Propedêutica Clínica y Fisiopatologia. Basically, this is a textbook, I think, that talks about the physiopathology of a few diseases that occurs in different systems. This is a really old one, but in the second volume that I thrifted, and this one is the recent one. The same thing, volume 2 as well. I'm waiting for the volume 1. This one is a small booklet kind of magazine. It's also in Spanish. This is for ophthalmology practice. Really, really good booklet. I loved it. This one is one I have not read, but I really, really want to read it. This one is Atlas of the Vasculatory Diseases, and cannot wait to read this one. It's in Portuguese. So it's actually Atlas das Doenças Vasculares, 3rd edition. And now, the moment of my favorite books. Okay. This collection right here, it's my incomplete collection of Netter's medical illustrations. This is the Siba collection. I think these are like the books of like illustrations before the Atlas of Human Anatomy, Netta's Human Anatomy. So these books are like treasure to me. They're the most expensive books that I thrifted. I think it was like $30 each for you guys, obviously. Okay, so the first one that I have here is Siba Netter's Medical Illustrations Volume 1, Nervous System. The second one, this is the endocrine system and selected metabolic diseases. This one, it's the heart and circulatory system. Okay, this one is of the kidneys, urethras, and urinary bladder. Then this one is, so this one is the digestive system. It's a 3-volume one. This is the digestive system part 1, upper digestive tract. This one is the second one, middle digestive tract. And then I have this one, the third one, digestive system part 3, liver, biliary tract, and pancreas. This one is the last one. Okay, so I will be right back. Let me go. Now we're gonna get into my favorite stack of books. This is my second. So we're back with stack number 2. This is my favorite stack. If I had a bookcase, this would be on my first, like on the top shelf. Okay, so just a disclaimer, this is my Christian book pile, and I do have like a lot of Bibles, but I will not be putting together, or I'm not gonna mix it here with these books. These are like other books outside of the Bible that I have, except this one is also a Bible. Okay, so again, I think here I only have Portuguese and English. I don't think I have anything Christian in Spanish, which is a shame. But anyways, let's start. Stack number 2. Okay, so this is Jungle Pilot by Russell T. Hitt, the life and witness of Nate Saint, one of the 5 missionary martyrs in the Ecuador jungle. There's actually a documentary, there's a movie on YouTube, you guys can watch it. It's about the story about 5 men. They were trying to spread the gospel in the Ecuador jungle to some Indians. It's a really good book and it's a really good movie. I recommend that you guys watch and watch and maybe get this book if you don't already. They're really famous. I think for Christians you would know who that is or who they are. This one is one of the books I was so excited when I found it because I've never heard of this before. This is Hansi, Captive of the Sattakia. The name of the book changed. I forgot the new title of this book, but it's basically a book about, it's a story of a woman that was actually like one of those guards in the concentration camps during the Second World War and during Hitler's whole time. And she was basically like a guard that was assigned to like capture Jews, Christians and stuff, and they would like torture them, but then she also found the gospel because the women that were in prison, they would like pray and they would like hide Bibles and they would quote scriptures, and she was actually in this dilemma where she was like, she accepted Christ by torturing them, talking to those women, and then what she was gonna do like to help them or to free them. It's a really good book, and to top it all off, there's actually a comic book version of this. So if you're Christian and you like comic books, definitely check this out. Then this one is what I meant. This is a New Testament Bible, only the New Testament. What I like about this is that it comes in book form. It's not like how regular Bibles are, where it's like 2 columns. This is just one, and there's like images and everything. It's really good for you to take it, put in your bag, and just read scriptures on the way. Really like this. Next, this is a book that I have not read, but I loaned it to my sister and she did not really like it. This is A Cup for Christ, the dramatic true story of Mike DeSanza of the NYPD. It's basically about a cop that accepts Christ and then starts like a organization for Christian cops. Next, I have, this one's in Portuguese. This is Histórias de Amor da Bíblia, published in Brazil's Sociedade Bíblica Brasil. It's in English. It is Stories of Love found in the Bible. Then this one, just a little small booklet, which is A Fé que Opera. It's basically a small booklet that has like testimonies of different people and how they found Christ. And I particularly got this one because there was one about a nurse that accepted Christ. So I was really curious and I got it. Then I have this one, Is It Possible to Find God? It's in Portuguese. É possível encontrar Deus? Ou Como Podemos Achar a Deus? By David Watson. So this is actually a book in English but translated. Next is Histórias de Dinheiro da Bíblia. Stories about money found in the Bible. Then I have this one, Study on Genesis. This is by, a little booklet fell off, by R.E. Harlow. Then I have this one in English, which is Women and the Liberator by William P. Barker. Then this one is one of the books that I'm saving. I don't know why I'm saving it, but I really want to read this book. It's probably one of the books that I'm most excited to read in this stack of books. This is Missionary Heroines in Eastern Lands. It doesn't have like just one author because it's a story about 4 women and how they travel to Eastern lands to preach the gospel with their husband. And again, I also got this book because 1, I've never heard of it, and 2, I always welcome Christian books, and 3, because one of them was a nurse as well. Then I have this one. This is the Power of a Praying Teenager, The Power of a Praying Teen by Stormy O'Martin. Then I have this one, which is like something that you use to accompany you when you're reading the Bible. This is the Bible Reader's Encyclopedia and Concordance. This is the first time I did not know about this until I saw it, so I had to get it. And it's pretty good, it's been helpful, especially to memorize scriptures. It's actually been really helpful to memorize scriptures. This is another one in Portuguese, but the title is Como Vencer Tempos Estáveis by Miguel Ângelo. Translating, it says Como Vencer em Tempos Instáveis. Wait, what? I was supposed to name in English, sorry. How to Win During Unstable Times. The next is 31 Secrets of an Unforgettable Woman, but retold by Ruth. This is basically a book that tells you how to be an unforgettable woman according to the book of Ruth. It's a really good book. I actually over here. I'm also currently reading this one. This is by Mike Murdoch. In Portuguese is 31 Segredos de uma Mulher Inesquecível. Then this is probably one of the first books that I bought outside of the Bible, Christian books that I bought. This is The Portrait, the Person of Christ as found in Psalms 1 to 41. It's actually a really good book. I read a few chapters on it, but I haven't finished it yet. I also got one for my sister because I found two. I think it was like 2.50. Well, for your currency. My currency is in kwanzas, so it was mil kwanzas. And yeah. Then I have this one, which I'm also really excited to read. I found it with that book on a stack. This is Lang, the Biography of Sir John W. Lang, by Roy Cord. This is basically about a man that was like, I think he was like a businessman, and he was rich. He had his own company he basically lived through the Second World War, and he actually helped a lot of people, gave money away. It's basically just like a biography, so I'm excited to read it. Then this one is one of the first books I was really excited to get. This is the Lion's Handbook of the Bible. This is basically just one of those guides that gives you like the history of events that happens in the Bible. It's actually really good. I use it quite a lot, and I learned so much because of this. And this one is an atlas. This is Atlas of a New Life, but in Portuguese is Atlas da Vida Nova. This is basically like an atlas that explains like maps and events that happened during the Christian time, like from the time of like Noah to the time of Jesus to now in the present time. So yeah, that was the last book. Let's go into my third